Hi there, my name's Andrew and welcome to my watch journeys. On this one we are building what I would call a Newcastle United Football Club watch. Newcastle United are a team that are in the Premier League playing football with the round balls as opposed to something shaped like a coconut. So here we are, here are the bits and pieces. This is the strap. I'm building these for a couple of friends. I'm doing two of them. As you can see with the dial, I've already put a little, what is called an NUFC logo on there, which I ordered again from AliExpress. Did a lovely job, I have to say. Never done that before, so yeah, it's another first for me. So I've transferred that on. I've got the other parts, and obviously got the case, the hands, the movement. So let's get these horrible things on, which I really do not enjoy wearing, but needs must, and we'll get on with it. This one doesn't go to plan. Yep, there are more lessons learned on this one. Like I said, well, like it says on the title, I really could have and should have and probably will spend or have spent a little bit more money on what I bought. The thing was, I'm giving these away for free. I'm not charging my mates, so yeah. Anyway, like I say, there were lessons learnt. So yes, still trying to get these. I should really have sped this part up, shouldn't I? Nobody wants to see me putting these on. So, come on, how long does this take? Yeah, so I'm making two of them for friends so they can hopefully wear them when they go to the match. Might bring them some luck, you never know. And, right, here we go. So, NH35A, this one has a date. The dial has a date window in it at 3 o'clock. So, there we go. Now you see again, wearing these awful rubber things, I can't get the polystyrene out the back there. So let's get the movement out, pop it in the holder, and see if I can actually get the polystyrene out. This has got the stem in. This is where the spare is held. Here it is. Ignore the sirens in the back, they're not after me. Well, I don't think they are. Right, so let's have a look at the dial. Yes, I'll be needing these to cut the stem. And right, so let's have a look at the dial. So I need to fit the dial, which should be NH35 compliant, compatible even. So yeah, lots of detritus all over it. That's a real word, by the way. I just learned it today. It means rubbish. So yeah, let's get the bits of dust and little things that seem to just find their way onto your dial using the Rodico. Okay, just a bit more. I'm going to zoom in there a little bit, see what we're doing. As you can see the NUFC, well you can't see that because that's completely out of focus and off camera. But there you go, that's the NUFC logo that I ordered from AliExpress. Like I say, it came out really well. Very happy with it. Obviously no copyright issues here. I'm giving them away, I'm not selling them. Right, so let's size up and see where we need to cut. Cut one of the stems off. It comes with 4 stems on the back of these. You cut 2 off to fit into the little holes that are on the side of the movement in the plastic ring. So there's one in, and then I can line it up and find out where the next one needs to be cut. I should actually know where I've done that many of them. I should know where to cut, but you know what? I find with me it's best to check. Because if it can go wrong, I will do it wrong. And I've definitely cut the wrong legs up before. And using those sticky dial dot things, just awful. They never do it correctly. Right, so get that in place. Squeeze it on, make sure it's on nice and flat. There we go. Lovely. Right. I like the finger movement, yeah. What's next? Oh, I think we need to get the hand. First of all, let's wind it on. Turn the date changes. So we can get it exactly at 12 o'clock. It'd help if I had it in the right position. Oh, there it is. Come on, very carefully. And click. Lovely. Right, so popping the hands on. First one's your hour hand, then the minute hand, and I usually spend 4 hours putting the second hand on. Oh, there's a little shot of my head. Whoop, and everything goes all over the place. So, nice and carefully. Sorry I don't have like a sideways shot or special cameras. This is being filmed with my phone. Samsung S23 Ultra. So it's not bad as far as when it catches the picture, but if it, like I say, when it's stuff my hands are over it, I haven't got like side shots or macro shots, unfortunately. It is what it is. Right, that seems to have gone on. Just leaning backwards on it a little bit there because I thought it was a little bit close to the indices. Let's get the hours on. Just into place. There we go. Like a professional, eh? Look at that. Almost like I know what I'm doing. However, as we'll see later on in the video, I don't. That's something to look forward to. Right, now it usually takes me forever to get the second hand on. And as you can see by my fumbling around, the reason why. Right, we don't need that box anymore, get rid of that. Sorry about the headshot again. Don't know what I'm doing at the moment. Ah, yeah, so just make sure I got the right end piece. So we've got a nice flat end, so we can get it in. There you go. I've got the seconds on. Unfortunately, I can't show you me doing that. It was actually quite quick this time, but I get my head right over it, and I've got to get really close to it, and there's no way I can take a shot of me doing that. And there we go. So let's case it up. So we'll need to take we'll need to put the new stem in. This is a little stem holder, comes in very handy. Not cheap, I got this one from one of the Swiss brands. I'm not sure which one it was. But yeah, it's good, works, and yeah, sometimes you just pay to spend a little more. So turn it over. Let's get the let's get the traveling wind out, and we're going to put Well, first of all, we'll case it. Go. Case it up. I have sped this up a little bit as well, just so it's just over an hour long, the whole video. I try to keep it as short as possible. I know what my attention span's like, so I'm not making any assumptions what anybody else's is like. Yeah, a bit more. What was the word I was using? Detritus. See? It's not just watches. I have a massive grasp of the English language. Okay, I'll just shut up. Right, there's my head again. Yeah. Now, as you can see, it just doesn't seem to fit right. It's okay when you put the moving in by itself, but when you put the face on, the dial, and with it just seemed it wasn't quite right. But I get it in there, and we're just going to cut this to size. Sorry about the headshot. Yeah, we'll give it a rub down. Get any of the little bits of filings off it. Yeah, get rid of the rubbish. Pop it back onto the crown. Pop it back in. Headshot again, do apologise. I'm having trouble getting it in to this, into the system and the movement. But it is working. But it still needs cutting down a bit. So just, yep, rid of that. Sorry about the headshot. Give it a good going on my mum's nail file. Mum, well anyway, I say mum. And back on with the crown. Try it in again. And you can see how it just moves too much when I put it in. It's a cheap case, it is. And yeah, even though it's in there, I don't know, I just think that it's under too much pressure. And because you're moving it all the time, yeah, and it makes it difficult to actually get it in the right position to adjust it. So, out it comes again. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on so we can lock the crown into position. It's not super glue or anything, it's just a little bit of glue to help it stay there. Put that away before I spill it and pop it back in. You see how I'm just having trouble getting it to actually lock into position. Yeah, quite frustrating. And again, it's gone in, but I'm not entirely happy with it. So I'm trying to get it more. I'm trying to like push it down in to see if I've just not got it in position correctly, but all that seems to do is just move it around. So it did say that it was the case was for an NH35, NH34, NH36 movements, which are all the same size, I believe. I'm sure you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. So yeah, I'm still just trying to like make it fit. And again, going around the edge there trying to push the plastic in to see if I've somehow got it, get it to click or go in a bit further. But no, that's apparently not going to happen. So again, let's get rid of any rubbish. I think, yeah, like the dial and the face on is or in as much as it can possibly be on this case. So there you go. Okay. Right, so it all appears to be working. Let's get the strap on. So there's a strange little micro adjustment there, just a spring bar. Alright, pop it back in. I need it at its widest. I've got big fat wrists. Okay. That one's in. And I think at this point I lost the other spring bar. Not sure what that one is on, just on to the top left there, but anyway, I think I'm off looking for another one. That was the other strap from the other watch. So yeah, not everything that says it's going to fit an N35 is an exact fit. Now I can understand that if it says it's going to also fit a Miyota or ATA movement, there's going to be a little bit of, you can't fit every movement, but there's not quite enough room in there to put a little plastic sleeve on either. I did try that, and that didn't work. So I just feel as if the whole thing now, having to because it's moving inside, it's putting the stem under too much pressure. But yeah, I think what I'm actually doing here is searching for, there we go, searching for a spring bar because I lost one. Okay, so I think it's a 20 mil. Okay, happy with that? Apparently I am. Let's whop it in. Oh, nice headshot again there. I would apologise, but it happens all the time, so yeah. Right, we have a watch. Pop that on. And it looks alright. It does look alright. I'm not happy with the bezel. Not really the bezel movement's a bit weak and a bit loose. Again, like I say, it's just a cheap movement. I don't know, it's a cheap case. The movement was alright. So, just trying to adjust it there to, and I think what I've actually done is, yeah. So at that point, I snapped the stem, trying to adjust it, which is just painful. So, what do you do? There's obviously something wrong with the build. I don't snap that many stems, especially not when I've had them in the movement. In fact, this is probably the first one. So yeah, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to try and take the movement apart and get the stem out, which is fine, if I can do that. But I've never took an NH35 movement apart in my life, or even tried to put one back together either. So, what also happened during this session was I put a transfer onto another dial, but I put it on upside down. And then I try to take it off. So this is me just going to try and take the, I'm going to, well, because it's not, yeah, it's just not working. I think also when I screwed the back down, the rotor was hitting the back of the base. Again, that's not what should be happening. Yes, so yeah, I also put a transfer on upside down, and then when I tried to get it off, I was using acetane, sorry, well, you know, the stuff people used to sniff, anyway, for to get it off, and I ruined the dial completely. So I then had to go and order another dial, and also when I took this one apart, it's still apart now, so I had to order another movement as well. So yeah, there's me trying to do it on the cheap, and I end up, you know, I end up spending a lot more than I ever intended. We're not talking, you know, college funds here, but this is a hobby. I'm retired, so you know, I'm not saying I'm living on, you know, pennies or whatever, but you have to be careful what you're doing. And yeah, this is just painful. So yeah, so just the reason I slowed this down was just so I could tell you really what happened. So about the only thing that actually did go right on this particular build was putting the transfer on. But which it was a case of you just literally cut it out of its. I think I got 24 transfers. I think it cost me about £23. So that's equivalent to about $30, I think, US. But there you can see the NUFC logo, and it did come back very. I mean, they did a really good job. I ended up, I think I just talked to, I think it was a lady. Obviously, I was getting a translation of what she was saying, and then I was typing back, and it was translating it into Mandarin for her. So, but yeah, I just sent her a picture of what I wanted, and then she managed to explain to me how I was to pay, which was basically a way of you went on the site on AliExpress, and it says, you know, custom only, blah blah blah, and she just basically sent a picture of the custom only site and then put ×4 for the price. So that's what I paid at ×4 the price, and a few weeks later, the dial sticker turned up. So we're going to take this apart in some forlorn attempt to get the broken or the snapped stem out of it. The snapped stem is now out, but it's still a bit. So yeah, it'll probably stay that way for a while until I get a. And there are YouTube videos out there that'll show you how to put them back together. But that will have to be a particularly slow day. I'd like to be able to do this sort of thing. And I'm a bit of got all the gear, but no idea. So yeah, I'd like to be able to put it back together, and at some point I will try. And you know, if you fail, you fail. Every time you try and do something, you will learn something from doing it. And that's what, you know, these kind of hobbies is. That's why we do them, so we can learn a little bit, and that's why I watch videos like this. So you can see me make a complete hash of it and go, well, I won't be doing that. So yes, I think the story from today is, if you have a watch case and a movement that's just a little bit loose when you're putting it in, don't. Either get it, you know, get the right size case, or get like a plastic sleeve or a metal sleeve, whatever it may be. But to make sure it's as steady as a rock. Because if it's not, you end up doing this. So, let's see where we are, what are we doing. So, let's have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. So, yes, enough of me explaining what's going on and doing it in slow motion. So, taking the rotor arm off the back. Okay. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, and I'd start taking the thing apart. So take the date wheel off. You need to take the bits in the middle off first. And when I do a video of me trying to put it back together, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm not sure what you'd learn from that. There are people who would do it much better than me, and I would probably, yeah, if I do something really stupid, I could video it and show you. But yes, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find the keyless works, or access to the keyless works, so I can quick or somehow get it out, but didn't work. It's in bits. So anyway, this is me actually showing you how I do the transfers. Like I say, really impressed with the quality of them. It did turn out very well. Best thing I've found, I did try drilling them. Don't do that. What I've done here is used a very sharp, like I think we call them Stanley knives, but basically it's like a knife, like a carpet knife. Cut a little hole, which is slightly too big, I'll be honest, and then use that as a transfer for my next job. So this is now, where are we? So this is me now with a new, I think, is it maybe a new? No, it's still with the old one. So yes, when I put the transfer on, it's left a mark, as you can see. I'm just trying to get that mark off. Oops. Get back over here. So I'm just trying to rub it with the body cord to see if I can rub the mark off, but as you can still see, it's there. And this is when, yeah, I think I use some acetone, and that's when it all just goes horribly wrong. I should have probably used some watered down acetone. But, you know, we live and learn, don't we? But actually, it's not doing a terrible job, but it's still, you can still see the mark. I'm trying my best to get it off. So this is just a normal cloth. I think it's a cloth I got with my glasses, which seems to have not doing a bad job. Again, there's still loads of rubbish just seems to appear from nowhere. Oh look, it's back. Yeah, so when you put these transfers on, you need to get because obviously some of this sticky sellotape type stuff will, has to go on as well, and you just need to get that off as quickly as possible, and that possibly I left it on too long. I'm using cotton buds just to try and get rid of it. I think it depends on what camera angle you're using as to whether it's actually still there. Right, yep, that was off. I'm happy with that. So onwards and upwards now. So I've now bought myself a new case. The old case at the bottom, new case at the top. Yeah, this is the old one, where I think I ended up breaking 2 stems when I tried to build another one. I'm wearing my Doxa Homage today. That was an earlier build, which did work, and it's actually still working. So yeah, let me try to show you the stem. Probably shouldn't do that. Note to self, don't shove stem towards camera, because I obviously got that wrong as well. Right, so yes, what I'm just showing you here is that when you put the dial and the movement into the old case, it just doesn't fit properly. See, it's moving again. It looks like it's fitted properly from this distance, but it's not. It's if you take that, you can move it. As you can see, yeah, it's just moving every time you touch it. Just wobbling around there. I know it's not a great deal, but it makes a massive difference when you're putting the stem in. You need a solid, fixed movement for the stem. Yes, thumbs down. And obviously you can see it drops out really easily as well. So, when we pop it into the new, more expensive case that I have reordered, just want to drop it in. I'm not particularly bothered how it goes in, just... Oh, I think you can see, by the way, I'm not using my rubber thingies because I binned the last ones and I can't find where I've put my bag full of the new ones. And I'll be honest with you, I'm so much happier just using my fingers. It's wrong. Everyone says you shouldn't do it. I'm going to leave fingerprints on and they're going to rust. Yeah, well, kind of, there you go. I'll live with it. But as you can see, it's a lot better in the new case. It's just, yeah, there's no rattle, there's no shake there. You can try and move it, it's nothing. Yeah, much happier with that. And it's a case of millimeters, or I think what it was in the old one, there was this little plastic ring, which I did have a look to see if I could get it out, but it wasn't really a chapter ring. It was more of just a little plastic thing at the bottom, like a circle of it, and I think that's what that was causing the problem. So, anyway, I see. Well, this one doesn't just drop out like the old one did as well. You need to try not to break anything, Andrew. Don't break it when you get it out. And I know my fingers all over it. I'd have washed my hands so that they're as grease free as I possibly can. And did I look that hard to find the finger protectors? Probably not. Anyway, that's the gasket and the base. Let's kind of do this again. Yeah, but don't need any of that, so just have a bit tidy up. So let's case this thing. Well, first of all, let's get some hands on it, shall we? Oh, again, lots of dust all over it. Doesn't help that this is the day before I do my cleaning, so the place is probably at its dustiest. Is that a word? Dustiest? No, I'm not sure. But anyway, let's get as much of it off as we can using the Rodico. And as you can see, I got a new dial that came as well. That will be for my second build, which is exactly the same as the first build, so don't worry, I won't show you them both. That would be unusual torture. Right, I'm reasonably happy we've got most of the debris off. Let's get them hands on. The reason the hands are in the big box, because that's where I was keeping some of the stuff from this build, just so that I could wait for all the other stuff to arrive. Okay, that's the case. And that's me having trouble putting this back on the case. I really shouldn't even be trying. Just let it go. But no, gotta keep going. Okay. Don't know why I spent so much time putting the case on, back on the case that's empty. Yes, there could be issues there, couldn't there? Anyway. Let's get the crown off. Put a new stem in it. One that's not broken. I do keep all the old stems that are broken. I don't throw them away, just as a reminder of what not to do next time. I'm not saying I won't do it, but it's when I do it, I know, oh, I've done this before and I know what to do. Right, there we go. New stem. So, yeah, need to put the stem in the stem holder and pop the crown on. So I think what I'm going to do here is just speed it up a little bit. So, sped up a little bit. Putting the grease on to the thing that keeps the water out. Yes, and onto there, put that in place. Okay. Trying to get nicely into place, because when you screw the back on, you don't want to be catching that the gasket, even though it has been greased. It shouldn't catch, but again, you want to make sure it's perfectly in place. And again, just a little bit of patience, make sure it's done right. And again, just dust everywhere. So we've got all the bits on that we need. Again, I didn't have too much trouble putting the second sand on. Let's case it up. Yep, that looks nice. I like that. Just making sure I get any debris off, so I don't want to... I think there's still some debris on the inside, actually, when I look at it. So I just take it out again, and let's just have a good old go at the inside to make sure, because there's nothing worse when you look at the watch. You've done all the work on it, you've got everything set. When you look at it in a certain light, you're like, oh, is that dust on the inside? Yeah, that just does my head in. So I'm really making sure, as best you can. I don't live in a laboratory. I'm not in sort of 3 clean air zones or whatever they use now at sort of these microchip factories. But yeah, so let's just make sure we've got rid of as much of the dust as we can. I think that was me just finding a different cloth, which, to be honest, made no difference whatsoever. Still left a load of debris inside, so we'll give it a good old squiz. This is the best thing for it, really. Worth its weight in gold, which is not much. But yeah, no, really worth getting one of these. A good air squirter or air pusher. Yeah, it fits so much better. So much happier with this. Yeah, it's solid. It's in there. So yeah, let's do the stem. See how much we're going to cut off. Okie dokie. Let's get it out and start cutting. Now, a lot of people when they do this, they mark it with a little Sharpie. Which is probably the best way of doing it. Why I don't do it, I just like to sort of see as close as I can get. But I'm happy doing it my way. But yeah, just because I do it that way, there's absolutely no reason why anybody else should. And actually, it's more of a reason why people shouldn't. Yep, gonna need the file again. Chop a good lot off. There we go. Give it a rub down. Get the little bits of filings off. I think the nail file was made in Germany. You can tell because it is quite tough. Because sometimes you just should spend a little bit more. Get something that does the job. That's advice my dad used to give me. As a case of, always, Andrew, get the best you can afford. It's not always the best available. You haven't always got that kind of money, but get the best you can afford. Don't be cheap. You can see my little face in the watch. Well, my big face, let's be honest. Not that little. Yep, all seems to be working. And again, because it's like tight in there now, just it's so easier to get the stem to the right length. So you have a little bit more to cut off there. So take it out, cover it over for dust reasons, because I do live in a sort of dust bowl. And let's chop it down again. Just a little bit, not too much, because otherwise we'll start the whole thing again, and we don't want to be doing that. Yep, make sure we have a nice smooth end. Put into the crown. Yep, get rid of the debris. What did I use? What's that word I use it for? Detrius? Detrius? Detrius. New word of the day. Sounds Latin, doesn't it? But I have no idea. Pop it in. Yep, that does seem to fit. But I don't think it fits quite all the way, does it? Is it a little bit, perhaps a little bit more to come off? It's working though. It's doing its job. Okay. Let's pop it out again. Dust cover on. Back into the stem holder. I think it just might need another little bit to come off. Oh, careful, careful. Not too much. I'm not taking any more off. I think that must be just about it. So you know what? I'm just gonna pop the Loctite on this time, and that should be it. Get rid of the debris off it. Oh, Loctite to hand. Okay. Crown back on. Pop the Loctite away. Yep, another blow because you can't get enough of those blows. Get my enemy dust away. Pop it in. Yeah, you see, it goes in so much easier than it did in the last one. And that winds up right to the right to the edge of the case. Keep it nice and waterproof. Not that it will ever hopefully see water, but then again, I won't be in charge of this watch, so it might. Let's just hope nobody goes for a shower. If they go for a shower, it should be alright. It'll be shower-proof, probably. I don't have a depth tester, so I can't actually tell. This is me trying to put the back on. Always good for a laugh. And just best way to put the back on that I've learned is just get the ball straight away and put it on there, and it works. But me doing this, backwards and forwards with my fingers, putting pressure in the wrong areas, yeah, get the ball. There you see, ball, and then straight away it works, and it's on. Yeah, much happier with that. Let's get the strap on, and we'll have a look at it. Come on. Strap's lovely, by the way. Obviously, all the sites where I got these from will be in the description, or the links. Sorry, yeah, all the links will be in the description. Nice strap, not expensive, but it feels nice when you put it on. It's almost like a sort of leather on the outside, rubber on the inside. And there we are. Much happier with it now. So hopefully lesson learned for me. Not saying I won't do it again, probably will, but yeah. So my Newcastle United or NUFC watch is alive. So I tend to, what I'll do now is I'll wear it for a few days, just to make sure it does what it's supposed to do, the date works properly, that it keeps time, just to make sure that everything works, it should work. Now just some close-up shots. Like I say, strap really works well with it. And also a strap, if you're going to give a watch away, you don't have to size it up as you would a bracelet. And yeah, I just think it suits the watch. Let's give it another rub, make sure I get all that dust off. Yep, more than happy with that. I think actually what I will do is I might just pop it on the time grapher and just see if it needs any kind of adjustment. So there you go. On the time grapher, what's it looking like? Oh, plus 2 seconds a day. Amplitude's fantastic, 299. Beat error 0.2, I'll live with that. Not entirely sure what the L8 means, but it's 52, which it should be. And the beats are 21,600, which it should be. And there you go. Thanks for watching. It was another journey. We've learned a few things. I certainly have. And I've got another build coming up.